Hi everybody, this is Jim Egan, head of school, Synapse School with a Friday update. It is the final Friday before we go off to break. Spring break is here. Some of you are traveling, be safe, have fun. Some of you are staying put. It is gorgeous here, so I get that too. That's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna take a road trip to Colorado with my wife to see my son. I can't wait, we leave tomorrow. Have a great break. Those celebrating Passover, have a great holiday. Those celebrating Easter, have a great holiday. We'll see you in a week's time. A couple things I want to point out. We just had our spring concert. It was exceptional. Thank you, Natalie, Early, Kathleen, our partners who work with us on that. It was celebratory. It exceeded expectations. I was thinking about our spring benefit that just finished. We have a financial goal. We have a goal around the actual party itself. It's a really fun party. We exceeded expectations in both those areas. Then I started thinking about the annual fund, which we wrapped up earlier in the school year. Exceeded expectations again. 100% participation, eclipsed the number we set financially for that. I then was thinking about admissions, right? That started even further back in the school year. Dana Story leads that heavy lift. And again, we exceeded our expectations in terms of our yield, our numbers, our applicant, our funnel, all the metrics. So we are in just a wonderful place as a school. I'm so proud to be the head of Synapse School. Things are all the indicators that I just listed are important metrics for health of community. And we're thriving. It is just fabulous. So that's that. I did want to point something out that I read earlier. It's an op-ed piece, and I thought it really was pertinent, and I think parents, anyone working with children, would love to hear my thoughts, I hope, on this. It's from the New York Times, a surprising route to the best life possible. It was in March, you can look it up, and it was written by David Brooks, an opinion columnist for the Times. And it starts off with Haruki Murakami was a mediocre student. If you don't know Murakami, he's an author. I was introduced to him when I was given the book, or his memoir, What I Talk About When I Talk About Running. I'm a runner, and so I was given this book by a friend who's a runner. And it really is this interesting there's interesting insights into the author's mind as he's running, including the agony of running long distances, right? Here's a quote. As I ran this race, I felt I never ever wanted to go through that again. Or at around 23 miles of a marathon, I start to hate everything. Or I finally reach the end. Strangely, I have no feeling of accomplishment. The only thing I feel is utter relief that I don't have to run anymore. I just finished the Oakland Marathon. That resonates for sure. I didn't think I would be able to run a marathon again. This past a few weeks ago, I ran the Oakland Marathon. I didn't think that was going to happen because I'd run so many marathons. My body had decided to reject the notion of another marathon about 6 or 7 years ago. But I was able to take a little break, and now I'm back. But it's really not about marathoning. It's really not about Murakami. It's diving into him. Brooks dives into his life as a runner, but also as a writer, and discusses this idea of arduous hard work, right? Trudging through writing a book. I mean, by the way, I've written a book too. I've written lots of books earlier in my life. And it was brutal. It was excruciatingly difficult thing to do, right? And Brooks even talks about, like, he doesn't like to write, right? But he knows he needs to write. So what does this have to do with kids and teaching? I was reading this long op-ed, and Brooks goes into this idea of talent, but the capacity to be seized by the talent, right? Some people go through life thick-skinned. School or career has given them a pragmatic, instrumental, efficiency-maximizing frame of mind. They live their life under pressure, so their head is down. They're not open to delight or open to that moment of rapture that can redirect a life. Others have a certain receptivity to them, right? Let me read more. They are able to hear that still soft voice inside, Maybe I could write a novel. They're sensitive, impressionable, enthusiastic, absorbent. They're open to being surprised. And when that constructive disorientation happens, they stop and contemplate, what am I being called upon to do here, right? What are the kinds of experiences that can kindle a life-altering enchantment? That's what I'm thinking about as a school head. Brooks writes, some people stumble upon a group of people who just seem cool, who just seem to be doing something worthwhile. They think, I want to be like them. That's not going to happen unless you're open to the life-altering enchantment that can possibly occur by meeting those people. And I think schools need to understand this. Brooks writes, like any passion, curiosity has to be transformed from raw instinct to a methodical skill. When they are at their best, schools teach students how to arouse and then discipline their curiosity. The effectively curious people have cognitive enthusiasm. They like to explore mysteries and think about new things. They have cognitive confidence. They're brave enough to tackle hard problems and cognitive complexity. They don't settle for simple stereotypes. I think kids, our youngest kids, have these attributes if we allow their curiosity to bloom, right? To take hold. Schools have to understand this. I had conversations this morning, one with a kindergartner, one other conversation with a second grader, right? Who were brave enough to think about hard things, right? Do math in front of me, complex math. One was so curious about the Titanic. I asked him about the capacity, the passenger capacity of that boat. And he was able to think about that. He was obsessed, and he got the right number, right? He did the math in his head. Another student came to me to talk about a firewall here at school. He was obsessed with it. He is obsessed with it. And he had the confidence, right, to come forward and talk to me about this and how you would break through it, right? And then I asked him what we should do as a school. And then he was able to sort of handle that complex question, right? And think through what, as a school head, I should do if someone were to break through the firewall. These are complicated concepts and not small things that we sometimes forget our smaller people around us can actually take on. They can take on those challenges. Schools need to teach students how to be curious. They need to allow space for curiosity to take hold. They need these experiences to come alive, right? We need to do interesting things with these interesting young people to allow them to find that thing, whether it's becoming a novelist or becoming a marathoner or becoming a violin player or becoming a coder, right? You need to allow for the imagination to fire. We need to allow for activities to grab kids. We need to allow for hard challenges to happen because some of those difficulties may enchant a child, right? I think humans, when they're looking for meaning, and I think it starts when you're young, they're not looking for easy, right? They're probably looking for mastery. And the only way you can get to mastery is to be enchanted about a problem. And problems can be difficult. I think it's mythology that we've been sold, that efficiency and easy is the road to happiness. I'm with Brooks. I think the best life possible is by teaching kids at the youngest age to imagine possibilities, to think with complexity, to have confidence in doing something well, and have cognitive enthusiasm in order to explore. So during this break, parents, you have an opportunity to do that if you're going away or if you're staying home. Our kids are so bright and so curious. That's the environment that we set up here. And we're really grateful that parents have chosen to partner with us on the cultivation and the curation of the experiences that we offer at Synapse. That's it. Have a super break. See you in a week or so.